So today we're going to talk about connecting the forms that you create to a workflow to automatically send emails. So this is great if you're delivering a freebie or guide, or you're asking someone to sign up for something and it's automating everything so you don't have to do it yourself. So if you haven't gone through the video tutorial of how to create a form and put it on your website, make sure and watch that. I'll just quickly do a quick refresher for you. So what we have done in Flodesk is set up a form, and this one is an inline form, and basically it just gives you the basic form fields and then a subscribe button. The most important thing when you set up your inline form and you're using a workflow is to click settings and make sure that it is attached to a segment, because this is what's going to trigger the workflow to start sending the emails. So once you have that embedded on your site, and then somebody goes and puts in their information, as soon as they hit subscribe or whatever the button is, you'll get your thank you message, and that will automatically trigger the email that is sent to them. So let's get into Flodesk and show how the workflows are set up. So once you're in Flodesk and you click workflows at the top, you can start by clicking new workflow. So basically you have all of these different templates that you can use. We're just going to start from scratch right now, and we'll call this test. So this is what it looks like when you first start. So the first thing is you have to add a trigger. So like I mentioned before, when you have a form, you want it to assign to a segment. So when a subscriber is added to the segment test, this is what's going to happen. Okay. So this workflow starts when somebody fills out a form, they're automatically added to this segment, which triggers this workflow. So then you have a few different options when you click the plus sign. You can send an email right away. You could actually wait for a little bit. You can use a condition. So it's like, if they click this, then do this. Or take an action. So since this is the first step, we're going to send an email. You can actually duplicate an existing email that you have, or you can create a new one. So we'll just create a new one for now. And again, you have all of these templates. So we'll just pick the first one. And then you can customize this however you want. So like if this was a freebie, you could change this to, your freebie is here. Definitely make that smaller. It's huge. And then fill in whatever you want in here. Maybe this is the button where they download it. So you could say download the guide. And then from there, you can click the link and then attach the file or the URL, however you're delivering the guide is what you could do there. Okay, so let's say we've finished that one. One thing that I personally always forget is changing this subject line in the preview text. So obviously you don't want it to say that. So you could say something like, here's your freebie. And then the preview text is what shows up as like a little preview in the email when somebody gets it. So you can say, your guide is here, or whatever you want to say. Okay, so that's the first email that gets sent. So now you can start building your workflows. So again, you're going to click the little plus sign, and maybe you're actually going to wait a while to send your next email. So maybe you're going to wait a week, and then you're going to send another email. So maybe this one is something different. Maybe you're going to introduce yourself. Maybe you have a sale. Maybe you have a product, something like that. So we'll just click this one. And then you're going to customize that. So maybe you're going to check in with them. Maybe put in some of your other offers. So we'll just click that. And then you can do a bunch of other things. So like if we go back into this email, for example, you could click this button. And then if you do a link, so let's say they actually are going to claim their seat, then you can actually tag them as something. So let's say this is a your mastermind program. Then if somebody clicks that and they go to your waitlist page for your mastermind, then you can automatically assign them to the segment, mastermind. Maybe you have a mastermind segment. So you can use the emails in your workflows to tag people and be able to send them what they want. Okay, so that's how you set up your workflows. There's a bunch of other different things that you could do. If you were going to take an action, you could add them to a segment, you could remove them. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do, but this is pretty much the basics. So if you're delivering a freebie, you want to create the form, put it on your website, assign it to a segment, and then trigger this workflow. I actually have a workflow all set up, which I will include a link to so you can get this. So basically this freebie that I'm giving is you want to go in, you want to change the segment so it applies to you. This is just kind of like a starter email for you, so you can edit that however you want. That applies to you. And then I have it waiting 7 days with a check-in email. And again, filling out all of your information, adding some different blog posts that might be helpful. And then again, I like to always put the guide in that they originally started with, just in case it gets buried in some email. So this is going to be a freebie for you to help you get started with your workflows.